right, we're going.
All right.
Hey, everybody. This is Jake and Ryan.
Howdy.
We figured it was time to do ooh, a little bit of an update. We have been dealing with things as a company.
A little
So
bit.
some of the projects that we've been working on a lot are either changed or not happening. And there's new things in the works. So we figured rather than answering a bunch of random questions as people get curious and ask us, we would just put this out so people know. As of right now, this is beginning of August 2024, where we're at, what we're working on, and kind of what's coming. So yeah, let's kind of jump right in. We've got a couple of things we want to talk about. I'll handle the first one. The first one is the Mark II. So if you watch my YouTube channel or follow us on Instagram, there was a while where, especially on Instagram, you're seeing a lot about the Mark II. We were guns blazing, going for that project. And we were working with Recman. That was no secret. We were working hard to make that project happen. But it just took a long time. The last video I posted on my YouTube was when we were about to launch the product. And we got to a point where what we were delivered wasn't ready to launch. And so we went back to the drawing board for a little bit. And it still became clear that we were pretty far away from having production ready to offer. So eventually we just kind of ran out of runway. That is the business reality of what happened. We couldn't keep sinking time and resources into a project that had now been years in the making, and we weren't profitable on, had nothing to sell, had no way to move forward well at that time. So things are amicable there. We still like those guys. We left on a good note, but we pulled that project because it just wasn't getting there. And it may be revisited somewhere down the line, but we have no definite plans about it at the moment because we've pivoted to other things, which we can have quicker timelines on and a little more control over and just more confidence to move forward and actually bring a tangible thing to product more quickly, or tangible product to market more quickly.
There you go.
Yeah.
So that was the MK2. Again, putting a pin in it to be continued at some point. So in the aftermath of the MK2, we landed potential agreement working with a different company to build a frame, well, not a frame lock, what am I trying to say? An integral. There we go, Jake. An
integral.
Yeah, button lock integral from the guys over at Dead Rec in the Up One Industries. And we were moving right along. And again, the reality of the situation is that they're still a small company, but they operate like a big company, but they're still a small company. And so when they took on Luft and another client, that at that point they were looking for work outside of Dead Reckin, and they needed to fill some space, get those machines moving. So we went down. We got you might have seen our static prototype for our SLNT. We're really jazzed about it. We were supposed to be doing prototypes in July. And we got a call from them, and one of their early clients that they've been working with since like the inception of Op One basically placed a extremely large order for them. The type of stuff that businesses dream about to keep their machines running all the time. And thus we had to take kind of like a back burner as far as timelines go, which sucks, but at the same time, it wasn't a personal thing. It was purely a business move, something that I think anybody would have done.
And we weren't yet under any specific contract,
right?
Signed timelines or anything. So they did nothing wrong.
No, nothing wrong at all. But the guys from Dead Reckin, we became really good friends with them, and they basically helped us find another manufacturer in the US that we are starting to work with, and things are looking pretty good. We are going to be continuing to work on the SLNT. Now, the SLNT isn't going to be an integral button lock. We're either looking at a frame lock or potentially a liner lock. But right
We have
now,
it designed for either, so
yeah.
it can work with multiple lock types. We're figuring out which one they can do the best and we can get done the best.
But the new company, they are aware that we're trying to get product for Blade Show Texas. They understand the timelines. And the thing is with us too, Jake and I, we really try and be very flexible here. If the SLNT project is going to take longer than they anticipate, we are also able to potentially pivot to. We have many different fixed blade designs that they could also start working on. So we right now our goal as Luft is to approach Blade Show Texas with product to sell.
USA made product,
USA made product to sell, yes.
which has been our goal for years.
Yes.
Hence the need for this update, because we've been, so we thought, right on the cusp of launching US product
Yeah.
for a long time now. And I mean, it's as hard as people tell you it's going to be to get
Yep.
US product lines off the ground. It's been a lot.
Yeah. We've learned a lot and we're not backing down. We've gotten kicked in the nuts a couple times. But that's what makes you stronger. That's what makes you stronger. I'll tell you, like Jake and I talk about it all the time. If it wasn't for Jake, and Jake says if it wasn't for me, it would be a lot harder as a company to kind of get through this past 2+ years of trying to go the USA route. But we made a lot of good friends and we made a lot of good connections. And like again, we're here. We're not going anywhere. It's just the easy road would be for us to kind of go and place another order with Riot and do a pre-order and kind of go back through the same rigmarole that we used to do. But that's not what we're trying to do for you and for us as a company, which we're really trying to step it up and enter into a space where if there is a pre-order, you're looking at maybe 2 months wait time. You're looking at definite US product. So that's not to say that we don't have other irons in the fire with international companies. Do you want to talk about that a little bit, Jake?
Yeah. So part of what we've been up to in the midst of all of this, as we've been working on getting some US projects going, is it's also put our heads into like a design space. So we have a lot more designs that we like and are confident in that are fully fleshed out, ready to go, than we have the road to place them on. So with that, we've decided to start doing some licensing. We're starting off a little slow. We have one project in the works that isn't ready to announce yet because it hasn't been prototyped and we haven't felt what they can do physically yet. But we have a license agreement that is in progress. And so hopefully you guys will be seeing some of that soon.
Yep.
And with licensing projects to hit budget constraints for buyers who are looking for a more budget friendly knife, it's a great opportunity or option for us to be able to provide something that people can get one of our designs at a budget that we couldn't offer them at if we did it ourselves and did it as an OEM run, or especially if we built it in the US, it's just more expensive to build things here. So yeah, we're going to be doing that. If that goes well, potentially we'll do multiple licensed designs across multiple entities. We'll see.
Yeah.
But for now, we're excited because we haven't licensed anything yet. So that'll be a fun way to have something coming out in our design language that doesn't take nearly as much of our like business effort. So it won't take away from our abilities to be able to be pursuing these US projects and communicating constantly with these guys in manufacturing and getting everything we need to done so that these US knives can come out. So that's happening.
Yeah. There's another thing that's happening again in the U.S. market. We're partnering and we're being a little hush hush about this because we want physical things in our hands before we start announcing companies that we are partnering with. But we do have a U.S. project in the works. We are doing a collaboration. And we're very excited to say that, this is going to be something that's also been a long time coming, about a year or so in the works of communicating back and forth. And the timing was just right this time. So hopefully we have some more news coming later this fall around the holiday season, which you might be able to look for. But all this being said is that while you might not see us posting every single day or every single week for that matter on Instagram, we meet every week for at least an hour, and if not more, to even have design sessions. We are working, and
And
we're
that's just when we're on a video call. There's a lot when we're
yeah,
not talking one on one that we're doing too.
yeah, exactly. Like the fact that we're, it's a makes like it's a strong point for us to just meet every single week to just sync up, follow up, do all the things, plan out what's happening for the next week. We're serious about this, and even though that all everything has been dealt with us the way things have been dealt, it's you know can't give up. Got to keep pushing forward. So
Right. Yeah, the most important things to us are still the most important things to us.
yes,
And so having our knives come out uncompromised from what we intend them to be, and now finding ways to have that accomplished in the US is like where we're headed shamelessly. It's where we want to be. It's what we're going to do. And so we're just plugging away at it. And it's unfortunate that some time has been, I don't know if you could say wasted. Like there's a lot we learned from the time that's down the drain, but there has been a lot of time and a lot of energy and effort spent on things that now aren't tangibly real yet
yeah,
and won't be for a while. But hopefully that puts us on better footing when this new product does come out, built here in the US, that it's like there's no rush happening at this point. We're
right.
playing a long game and we're doing it right and we're doing it methodically. And so it should be really fun when it becomes reality and we're standing at our table at a show with US product in front of us.
Oh yeah.
And that doesn't mean we'll never do any Chinese projects again. But as a business, it's really important to us that our focus moving forward is on US product. And yeah, both of us, both of
Yeah,
us want that pretty bad.
pretty bad. U.S. product and U.S. product that we can deliver to you without completely breaking the bank. Where that's the other part of our business model, and we'll get into that once we have product to show you. Because talk is cheap, right?
Yeah.
But we
Well,
are
and
very
a couple things are different in the market now than when we
true.
started. Like
Yeah,
right now, the economy is in a different place. If you're a knife consumer who's watching this, the odds are you bought less knives this calendar year than you did the year before, and probably even before that. Like people are buying less; they're being more sparing with their budget because they need to be.
yep,
Um, the social platforms are changing. Instagram is an ever maddening space for people who do what we do. And I don't know whether that will change and go away and it'll become fine again, or whether will people actually migrate to X, which is part of our plan. We've been making a move to X, so follow us there. Um, but like the system isn't the same as it was when we started as a business, and we don't want to be the same either. We'd like to be providing a good, like solid value US knife that
yeah,
resonates with people and isn't prohibitively expensive. It'll be more expensive than a Chinese knife because it's more expensive to make, but we don't
right.
want to come in and be
We're not going to try and
asking $50.
inflate the price just because there's an American flag on it. We're going to try and keep our profit margins relatively the same as it was when we were selling our Chinese made knives. Just the initial price is a little bit more expensive. So, we're not saying that, the people, folks that have USA made products charge an absorbent amount of money. We're just trying a different business model.
We're trying to do it for less. Yeah.
Yeah, we're trying to do it for less. So, yeah, but believe us, we would love to scream names and drop names right now of things that we're doing and show photos. And like, we could fill up another 30 minutes talking about just highlighting the stuff that we have cooking. But, you know, that's one thing we've learned over the past 2 years is that keep your mouth shut on certain things until they are coming to fruition. So,
And that's part of why now we're doing this update to
yeah,
say that the Mark II isn't happening. So don't be looking out for it because it's not. And the SLNT as an integral button lock is not happening in the immediate future. If that changes and we get that project back online and we're doing that again, then we'll announce that. But right now, it's not in process. We don't have prototypes coming to us. We don't like it has stopped where it was with that project, and now we're resuming it, but in a totally different build. So, like, it's going to be a different knife ultimately when it's not an integral button lock. It might
Yeah.
look similar, but it's going to function very differently. So there's a lot that we're still figuring out. And the important thing about this was just to make sure people know what actually is coming now
Yeah.
versus what has ceased to exist. And I don't know that we need to defend ourselves, but I'll do it for a second
Sure.
because neither of those projects stopped because we gave up on them or because we decided against it, or like we were pushing forward full steam at
Mhm.
every stretch of these projects.
Yeah.
And part of the difficulty of US manufacturing is there aren't companies like Reat and We and Best Tech here in the US who will just take your OEM order and tell you a timeline and do it. um, it's not that simple here in the US. There's not someone that we can go and send a CAD file to and work with them a little bit and then enter a line and get production going.
Yeah.
It's so much more complex doing it here in the US. And the guys who are willing to do it are a little bit cowboy right now because it's kind of a newish thing to have US OEMs. It's part of why we're not going to share the name of the new one we're working with because we don't want anyone else jumping in line in front of us and
Yep.
taking our ability to produce with them. So maybe once we're doing production with them, we'll let you know who it is. But until then, nah, like it has been a slog to get even to this point
Great
where
word.
we've had projects fail. Like getting people to say yes to projects and then having them fail has been harder than not trying to get the projects by a significant margin.
Yeah. So all that being said is that we're going to commit to providing you more updates and transparency moving forward. Probably not in extended videos like this, but maybe you can expect one of these once a quarter from us. But we have made a push onto X. X is presenting challenges in and of itself.
It's
I think
different.
the vast majority of folks like Instagram. It seems to be the best platform with the worst rules. And so we're working with that. But we have our owners group on Facebook. If you are a Luft Concepts owner, you can go and you can hang out with other folks, talk about stuff. It's a great place to
Even
listen.
if you don't own one of our knives yet,
Yeah,
but you're interested in
yeah,
them, it's a good spot.
exactly. We have a lot of people always posting deals there if they're trying to trade or look for a specific model. Um, and then we're also on X. We're at Luft Concepts on X, and you can be our 50th follower because anyway. But yeah, I think that's kind of the update. What do you think,
Yeah,
Jake?
that's about all we needed to say today.
Yeah, maybe we
So
said a
yeah,
little too much, but
we always do. Um, anyways, be on the lookout soon, but not tomorrow, because we're working on stuff. We are
yeah,
like we are alive and well, and our heads have been down trying to make stuff happen, and not everything works, especially in the beginning. But hopefully we can get to a point where we've got solid manufacturing set up, and we've got channels we can go through that we can count on. And we
yeah.
can just start getting product out to you guys built here in the US. And until then, we're not going to stop keeping our heads down and trying because that's where we're headed. That's what we want to do, and we're going to do it. So
Yep, we're still designers. We still love knives. We're still working on anything we can possibly do. Just in the interim, keeping our heads working, staying
yeah,
busy.
that's
So
the truth. All
thanks
right.
for watching,
Well,
y'all.
yeah, appreciate you guys,
Yeah.
and we'll see you on the next one.
See you later.